Ooh la la. Welcome to the stream. I think we're live, but I didn't set up my audio. So let me see here. Hopefully this is working. Okay, you should be hearing me clearly now. Maybe less. So now let's get that music in here. Et voilà. Welcome to the stream. It's the last day of the live streams. I'm actually excited to close this whole 10 days of live streaming situation. It's been fun. I think I actually enjoyed it. Maybe I enjoyed it too much, actually. Let me know if the audio sounds okay. If you're watching and you can hear me. Because I think it's a little loud in my ears. But that may just be for me on this end. All right. So let's pause this music here. No, I like this song. I actually like this track for some reason. All right. Welcome to the last session of the live mass, as I like to call it. Let me put on this banner. It's been 10 days of streaming every day for the past couple of days since the first of, let me first of all edit that. This is the last day, actually. It's day 10 of 10. For the past 10 days, what has happened is I've come on here for 30 minutes and streamed and talked about a couple of things. First, what I did is, which I'm going to do now. Let me finish this. I can multitask. Let me just get this thing done. Voila. All right, cool. So Daily Laws by Robert Greene, Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, and then we talk about the topic. So this has been my version of Vlogmas because I'm too lazy. I don't want to edit vlogs, and yeah, that's just too much work. So just turn the camera, have a chat, talk with the people who are watching, who are commenting, and it's been really nice. I think I've gotten a chance to realize that I want to make more videos. I really like making videos, and live streams they're easy, but also demand that you understand or have an idea what you're talking about. So there's a challenge there with making live streams, but we'll talk about it in the end. So let's start by verifying the Daily Stoic, not verifying, going through it, and then we'll go through the Daily Laws, and we'll talk about choosing yourself and isolation, which is the topic of this live stream today. The way these topics come to me is it just hits me. I just feel like this is the time to talk about this thing. No, that is too heavy. Let's do that. I think I'm basically listening to the same songs all week. Let's find something that we haven't listened to yet. Yeah, I think we've listened to everything on this playlist so far. Or have we? Let's take this one. Let's do this one. All right, daily stoic. Let me know if you can hear me clearly because I don't think I can hear myself, but I'm not sure how it comes out on the other side for you. All right, in that case, we're going to begin. This is day 10, December 10th. We're what, 21 days to 2022? Man, less than a month away from the new year. Could tell you so much about the way this year started and what I was expecting, but that's a whole other conversation. So let's begin. Oh, I like this one. Don't sell yourself too cheaply. I say, let no one rob me of a single day who isn't going to make a full return on the loss. Seneca on Tranquility of Mind 111b. People spend a lot more money when they use credit cards than when they have to pull out actual cash. If you ever wondered why credit card companies and banks push cards so aggressively, that is why. The more credit cards you have, the more you spend. Sheesh. Do we treat the days of our lives like we treat our money? Because we don't exactly know how many days we'll be alive, and because we try our hardest not to think about the fact that someday we'll die, we're pretty liberal with how we freely spend our time. We let people and obligations impose on that time, only rarely asking, what am I getting in return here? Seneca's maxim is the equivalent of cutting up your credit cards and switching to cash. He says to put real thought into every transaction. Am I getting my money's worth here? Is this a fair trade? Yeah. If you're watching this and you're not in a country that uses credit cards, and there's a lot of this will probably not make sense, but the idea and what is being said here is, I mean, I think any kind of credit card, not just necessarily, credit card, debit cards, when you don't see the cash itself and it's just in a plastic piece of paper, you don't actually have a visual representation of, the amount of money reducing. Like in Cameroon, when you have like when you have 10,000 francs and you change it to 1,000, you have like 10 of them, and then you use them, you can see them reducing, and you can actually get an idea of it finishing. So don't sell yourself too cheaply. I think it's going to be very relevant to the conversation around isolation and choosing oneself. So let's put that on the side. Move to the daily laws. I think the next song is a little bit different. I actually like this band. Let me see, how many more songs do you guys have? Oh, they have, let me see, genre similar. I wonder if you play this playlist though. Anyway. No, look at that. Kept my space yesterday. December 10, see the whole. We humans tend to see things in isolation. Ha ha ha. Isolation. We see ourselves and others as individuals, not realizing how our very existence, our consciousness, our brains, and our psychology depend on all those in the past before us, stretching far back in time. When we look at other animals, we imagine an unbridgeable gulf between us and them. The threads that connect all life forms are simply not visible to us, and so not a part of our daily consciousness. You must train yourself to think and feel differently, always seeking to pick out the hidden threads. Imagine that there is a whole that every event and phenomenon is a part of. The whole that is your psychology and all your unconscious motivations stretching back to early childhood. The whole that is you and all the various influences in your life, including parents, friends, society, and the cultural zeitgeist. The whole that is you and all the past generations of humans that have shaped the world you now live in. And finally, the whole that is you and all the life forms that have led to the evolution of humans and that live within you. Daily law. When you look at the world, stop fixating on all the separate forms you see and view it as all one throbbing, pulsating web stretching from 4 billion years ago to the present, with you as a tiny but necessary speck on a single thread. Hmm. See the whole. It's like these topics just come to my head when I sit down to make this schedule. And for the past 10 days, I wish I could tell you that I'd premeditated the topics, that I'd planned and I'd figured out early enough what I was going to say, but I hadn't. And right now, just thinking about isolation and this, what we just read, it makes me feel like it was the right topic. It was the right topic because there is this idea. I mean, there are two extremes. There's one extreme where people isolate themselves to the point where they no longer feel connected to other humans, other communities. They just want to be by themselves. And then you have, let me take this off actually. You have people who cannot be by themselves. And the reason why I chose this topic to end this live mass, this series of 10 videos, is because throughout this journey, we've been talking about mortality and connecting to the whole and connecting to the cosmic sublime. And just thinking about the fact that things could end. We don't have that much time. We need to be careful where we put in our energy. We need to, be more conscious of how we use our limited time on earth, basically. And I think it's easy to get lost in people's expectations, in people's requests of who we should be. It's very easy to find yourself in a place where you're doing everything that everyone is saying, but never doing what you actually feel is right for you. Now, the question is, how do you even know the difference? I think everybody knows the difference. Everybody knows what they are supposed to be doing. That is just theirs. But the way we are raised, we find that we have people in our lives who influence the decisions, whether in a very strong way, like our parents, because of the care and love that they provide us. We find it difficult to just say no and do our thing. Or society and the laws that are there, and people who just don't believe that it's possible to live life in a certain way. So you find yourself in the middle of having to decide, do I leave these people that I care about, behind, move forward on this vision that I'm seeing, or do I stay with them and have this constant eternal angst that I will never be able to do the things that I want to do or that I really want to do? And I think isolation is necessary. That's why the main word that came to my mind about this whole conversation was isolation. I think it has a bad rep. When you're by yourself, people want to come and cheer you up. People feel like, oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? And especially if people who consider themselves introverts probably understand this better. When you sit and let me see, you're watching people and you're just enjoying the people being there. Someone walks up to you and just feels bad for you. Someone feels bad for you for being by yourself. And in your head, you're like, wait, and I think that's what happens. People think being alone is wrong. That something is wrong with wanting to be by yourself. Like, why does it have to be wrong to want to be alone? Whether it's just like, I mean, different levels will know whether it's starting a business alone, whether it's being single, whether it's, just taking a walk by yourself. I feel like we want so much to be a community. And of course, I agree. Human beings are very social. We're social animals. We need people. We need people to want. Notice that my camera switched, and you saw my secret plan to take over the world. Let's change that. Anyway, so I think, what was I talking about? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, we feel like we need people all the time, and that being alone is bad. That being by yourself is something is wrong with you if you want to be single. Something is wrong with you if you want to build a business by yourself. Something is wrong with you if what? You don't have that many friends. You have like 3, 4 people that you can count on, and the rest you're like just. I find it funny personally because many times, most of the time where I've been in very difficult positions, all the people that make certain comments about not having friends or being by yourself, they weren't there. The people who make you feel bad for being alone are usually not there when you actually need them. That's why for me, family is a big deal because what I realize is, like, my brother and I share the same birthday, and I know that no matter what happens in this life, each of us were alive. The day of our birthday, one person, there's one person on this earth that will remember my birthday, and for me, that's more than enough. Yeah, of course, parents call, sisters, friends, people who know. And I think we overestimate how much we need people and underestimate how much it's important to be able to take a step back and really feel where we are on our own journeys and take steps from that place of knowing and having that faith that we know what is best for ourselves. I also think you need guidance. Like, it's not clear cut, like, okay, don't listen to anybody, be by yourself, do your own thing, you're right, you're fine. No, I think it's okay to listen to perspective. I mean, this channel is being rebranded into whole perspective and improvement. I love perspective. I love getting another side of things. In fact, when I get the other side of things, it reinforces my perspective if that side explains things that I was not taking into consideration. Say, for example, you want to start a business and everybody tells you it's a bad idea. Don't do this and that. Engaging in those conversations can actually get you to see issues that you may not have noticed that can actually help you realize, okay, I really want to do this business because there's a hole. I may not have been approaching it the right way, but I see that there's a need here that I can solve. And I think it's important to take perspectives to look at and listen and see other things. It's just when it comes to this isolation and being by yourself, I think I think it's easy for people to just want to tell you you don't have to be alone. You must find friends. You have to join a community. Man, I'm a group. I'm a member of many communities. Well, not that many actually, but I'm very intentional with the communities I choose because I realize that people can also affect the way you think about yourself if you stay too long there. They can make you feel really good about being in a not so good place, or they can make you realize that you're living an average life. So it's important to have community. It's important to have people who tell you things that you don't want to hear. But on the journey to choosing yourself, you would have to take the step back by yourself and decide where you want to go. Ultimately, no matter what anybody tells you, everybody says about how intelligent, smart, beautiful, pretty, handsome, hardworking you are, if you don't believe it yourself, it's going to be difficult to sustain. I think it's going to be difficult to keep lying to yourself when you know the truth, even if everybody is telling you something. If everybody is telling you one thing and you know that is not true, at some point it's going to backfire. So, what's the whole point of this rant about isolation and choosing yourself? Well, this year has been a very interesting year for me. I've gone through a bunch of downs, a bunch of ups, and I don't think it's the last time it's going to happen. I think life is a cycle, up and down. And the reason why I'm embracing stoicism as much as I am right now is because I realize that we can have all these emotions and all these events happening in our lives, but we can also control this inner world, this inner place where we decide what to do with the information that we get about the world around us. Because if we're lucky, I don't know if lucky is the word, but if we live long enough, we're going to have pain that cannot be described. We're going to lose friends, we're going to lose family, we're going to lose things, we're going to go through a lot of difficulty. And relying on emotions or not knowing how to process those emotions and in a healthy way can get very dangerous. Can get really dangerous if we're not able to find healthy ways to deal with difficult emotions, uncomfortable emotions. And I think being able to be comfortable in our own skin is one of those steps. I don't know if it's the first step, it's a middle step, but I think being okay being alone for periods of time is a healthy way to be in touch with how we feel. Because if you spend a long time in a group, you start thinking like the group. I mean, look at the internet. See people talking about things and basically bringing up the same arguments and the same points, and you're like, wait, do you guys all sit in the same class and listen to these points? But no, it's just because you're part of a group, and the group think, mob mentality. And if you're not able to think for yourself, somebody's going to find a way to use that. You have very charismatic, powerful people who can say things that can move you. I mean, there's smart people out there who are able to use words in a way that get you to take action on things that you may not even totally understand. And I think being able to choose yourself and being able to think for yourself is a very important tool to navigate the world as it is right now. To be able to see things. Because when you see, say for example, you have an idea of something that you want to do, like a book you want to write, a project, a YouTube channel, whatever it is. That idea may just be yours. I was listening to, is it Heinz? Yeah, on YouTube. In hindsight, Heinz, and he was talking about. I mean, I didn't finish the video. He was talking about something of you don't have ideas, ideas have you. And the example he used was, sometimes you see somebody doing something and like, oh my goodness, I had that idea. I had that exact idea, but then you didn't do anything about it, right? And I think if you're not able to be by yourself and think for yourself and reflect and evaluate where you are and be self-aware enough to know when an idea requires action more than reflection, then you end up in that space where you're always just watching people and being like, I had that exact idea. I wanted to ask that girl out. I could have started this business. Oh, I should have invested in crypto. I really thought about, yeah, if you keep thinking about things and never doing it because everybody around you is not doing it, in the end, the limited time that you have is going to be wasted just, watching other people. And I think to end, this stream, I think on this journey to improving ourselves and reinventing ourselves and becoming better versions, whatever you want to call it, self-improvement, self-help, life, I think is even life. On this journey, it's important to know that we need to define those metrics by which we determine how successful we are, because for somebody, success is just being able to take care of their family. And that's more than enough. Another person's success is being able to buy hotels or, I don't know, going to the moon. So I think when we don't spend enough time with ourselves to really get to the core of the things that we want and what we feel, it can get very easy to use other people's metrics to compare our own journeys. And so we end up anxious, we end up worried, we end up feeling like we're not moving ahead in life, like we're wasting our lives. I mean, I made a whole video on the channel where I was talking about feeding 30 and like I wasted my life. And that's because I compared myself to people and I was looking at where they were on their journeys, on their metrics of success, and trying to feel like, oh, if I were at that age, I should be at this point. But that's not true. No. When you are in touch with your core and you know your purpose, you know why you're doing what you're doing, a lot of the things that people will say will just be noise. A lot of things people will say will just be noise. Hey, Elodie, welcome to the stream. It's been how many years? 12 years? I miss our chats. I hope you're doing well, Elodie. Yeah. So I think we isolation has a bad rep. Like being by yourself has a bad rep. It doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. Gary Penny, I do not understand this language, but there's tech in there. So thank you for leaving the comments. But yeah, talk about isolation. I think it's sometimes you have to isolate yourself. Go for walks by yourself. Just take care of yourself. Take some time off. Watch a movie alone. Even if you're in a couple or you're with friends, like you're always going to be with your own thoughts. So you might as well learn to like yourself and enjoy your company. Because one thing that I've learned so far is if you don't know who you are, you're always going to keep pretending around people, and it always backfires. It almost always backfires where you're not true. You're not honest with who you are, what you like, what you want, your values, where you're headed. And so people who may have been attracted to you because of who you were are repelled by this pretense. And people who should not have anything to do with you now feel attracted to you. And I mean attraction, not just romantically. I mean like life in general. The kind of friends you attract, the kind of business partners you attract, the kind of co-workers you attract. When you're honest, because you've taken the time to be yourself and be by yourself, you just are. And that light shines through and people can feel it and they can decide if they want to be friends or not friends. And that's fine. 7.5 billion people on earth. There's the internet. No, we're using this tool right now to connect. It's life is too short to pretend that you're not yourself. And I think being able to be by yourself is one way, not the surest way, but one way to really know who you are. When I was going through one of the most difficult times for me this year, there was about 2 weeks that I was not talking to anyone. I mean, let me put the caveat there. Granted, I enjoy time by myself. Like I'm one of those people who, the older I get, the more I like being alone. I don't mind being alone. I have things to do. I can read books. I can just sit there and do nothing. In fact, I can even have conversations with myself. So maybe I'm biased because personally I enjoy being alone. It's something that used to bother me because people will complain about it. But as I'm getting older, I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. I mean, of course, it's an extreme. If you run away from people and you're constantly feeling anxious when you're in public, like you should, there's a gray area there. Like, of course, take what I'm saying with bag of salt. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a counselor. None of that. So if you find yourself in an extreme, being afraid of meeting people or just talking to people, then there's an issue that you might need to address, whether it's getting help, whether it's just practicing on a small scale. And I'm going to reiterate, we need people. We all need community. We need friends, we need partners, we need mentors, we need people to teach, people to learn from, people who are at the same level as us that we can have friendly competition with. We need people. I'm not saying that we should be alone and forget about other human beings. No, that's not what I ascribe or prescribe. Yeah. There's 4 minutes left in the stream. I did it. I did 10 days of live streaming. I was going to do 12 days. But what happened was when I wake up in the morning and I get ready for the stream, I realize that I don't get to edit videos. So a lot of things will happen. Elodie says, there's healthy isolation, there's toxic isolation. You can be alone with your thoughts and derive no positive change from there. Yeah. Yep. I don't like the word balance, but I think being able to move in that flux and know when to tilt in a different direction can be a good thing. Everything can be toxic. Everything can be healthy. It just depends on how that, I say discipline? I don't know if it's discipline. Self-awareness, I guess a combination of things. But also, I spoke a couple of days ago about work-life balance. Personally, I don't believe in work-life balance. I think you have to choose the things that you need to put your energy on. And so, if I were given a choice to be by myself and build the life that I want versus be with people and not have that life, I would definitely choose to be by myself 1,000 times over. And that's the thing about knowing yourself. You get to a point where you're comfortable with who you are and you're fine with the consequences of your actions. For me, I think a lot about the consequences of my action. Like, okay, if I were to stay in this state, this current mind state for long, would I be okay with it? And if the answer is yes, I'm good. When the answer becomes long, I think it was Steve Jobs' 2011 Stanford commencement speech. If you say if the answer, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't feel comfortable, I've forgotten the story. Anyway, it was something about asking a question and having the same answer and then it being no. Like if you're not comfortable over and over and over, then it's time to make a change. So yeah, if you're isolated and you're good, like you're self-sufficient, you can take care of yourself, you live in the woods, and you're happy and nobody needs you, and like I'm sure there are people who are very fine being by themselves. But then there are people who cannot survive 30 minutes, or people, for example, who the moment they get into a breakup, they already have someone else they want to talk to. And yeah, I don't think that's very healthy. I think sometimes you need to regroup and think about, okay, what happened here? What's going on? How can I learn from this? What can I do better? How can I improve? I mean, if you know me and you've seen the videos on the channel, you know I'm a huge fan of improvement. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. Maybe that can be toxic too. Sometimes you just have to be okay where you are in life. But that's not me. So if that works for you. So yeah. Elodie, thanks for hanging out. Gary. Yeah. So, what did I learn during this live stream session of 10 days? I learned that input-based goals are more important than output-based goals. And I think this would be coming from the book Atomic Habits. My goal with the live stream was to show up every day and not bother about how many people were watching, how the video was going to do. And I achieved my goal very fast and I felt really good about it because whenever I finished the video, the goal was completed. It was dependent on me. It was input dependent on my input, not output dependent on the people who are going to watch a video, going to show up for the live. And I think, if anything, I think that's a one key lesson about this, where changing my goals for the next year, or for I guess for the rest of my life, even switching them from output dependent goals to input dependent goals can be very helpful in helping me maintain a sense of control and discipline and focusing on the things that I can actually do. Because instead of thinking, I want to write an article that's going to go viral, instead of that kind of goal, what I can do is I want to write every day for 30 minutes. So that reduces the stress, the worry of, will this article go viral? What can I do to make it viral? Whatever it is, I just write. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to do this again. How many lives are going to be on the channel in the future? Maybe I was thinking once a week, but I'm not sure. I think even if it's going to be once a week, probably around January, because this at work this month is very, very demanding. Bunch of things happening. So yeah, I'm very, very honored that people will show up here and watch. I wasn't expecting anybody to watch. So even when there was like 0 viewers, for me, that's what I was expecting, 0 viewers. So having people sit and watch and listen and leave comments, it means a lot to me. It's like the whole idea of time that we listen to in Daily Stoic, about using your time. You were giving me time that you will never get again. And that's a pretty big deal. So thank you. Thank you for being here, for sticking on the channel, for watching, liking, and commenting. You don't have to do it. You do it anyway. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, if you have any comments, I'm going to be on again for like 3 minutes, just to see if anybody has anything to say. And yeah, today I'm going to hop off, get ready for work. It's Friday. Tomorrow's a weekend. I have some friends. I'm going to be seeing some friends I haven't seen in a while. It's going to be awesome. Ugh. Yeah, still like what time it is? It's 8:23 here in Colorado. Hey, Essien, Memdo Essien, thank you for being here. Didn't know you were watching. Glad to have you. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to make some changes to the channel. I'm thinking of should I make an announcement? Oh, since you're here, let me tell you, because probably nobody's going to watch this rebroadcast. So I'm going to be making a new channel where I'll move all my reactions to that channel, because I realized that I've been having a hard time merging my vision for the channel, my personality, the kind of videos I want to make with reaction videos. So I'm going to be moving the existing content and then all new reaction videos to the new Kamga Reacts channel. So yeah, since you're watching this, I thought you probably want to get a heads up on that. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know if people are going to leave the channel because, they were coming for reaction videos, but I just had I had to think about this in isolation, of course, and thinking about what I want, where I want to head to with the channel, the kind of videos that I want to make. I like to make thoughtful content, things that really get you to think and consider a lot of, perspective and improvement. Reaction videos don't do that, but people like reaction videos, and I also like making them. So I had to find a way to merge the two goals. So I'm going to make a new channel. I'll probably make like a video announcing it on the channel, but yeah, just so you guys want to know, since you're here already anyway. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Maybe next time I come to the channel, I have 1,000 subscribers because everybody left. But anyway, yeah, thank you for hanging out. I am going to be ending the stream now. Oh wait, no, yeah, a couple of seconds left. But just last words, just take care of yourself. All right, you have one life. God loves you so much that He gave His only Son. I mean, you know the script. But seriously, on a serious note, I think if we really consider how important we are to people and to God, we're going to make better decisions in life. If we really think about the people who care about us, the people who they might care about us in ways that don't work very well. That don't make a lot of sense. But I really think that you should take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, like really. Take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. Take care of yourself. It's very important. And sometimes the way you actually take care of people around you is by being able to take care of yourself. Because if you can stand, then you can help other people. So that's my message for you. Take care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. Make the announcement for the reaction channel once it's done. But I'll be here. Not go anywhere. I mean, by God's grace. I'm sounding here like I know the future. I don't know the future. So, Michael, hey, it's good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video, right? Take care of yourself. Bye.